Dating in Kenya as a diasporan man. You guys are going to like this one. I got a good one for y'all today, okay? Now, I don't even know where to start with this. I truly don't. I don't know how to even piece this video together, but you know what? I'll say this. First things first. As a diasporan man returning back to Kenya, you are a target, okay? I'm going to repeat that. You are a target. Now, why do I say that you're a target? So, as we all know, in most places around the world, especially in Africa, specifically Kenya, men are expected to be the hunters. But with certain circumstances, like you coming from the US, the UK, Canada, wherever you're coming from, right? You actually become hunted. You think at times that where you've gotten with a certain woman or lady, whatever you want to term you want to use, you think that your success is hinged upon your skill, your riz, your charisma. But in reality, you have been set up from the beginning, okay? This chick saw you. She knew what she wanted. She put herself in position for you to feel like what you've done actually came from you. So, a lot of guys should be aware of that. A lot of guys should be aware of that. Now, so I'll move on to this. The reason you're a target is because, as we all know, men are expected to provide, okay? And you coming from the US, let's use the US specifically. This girl already knows that you are coming from a dollar economy, okay? The dollar is stronger than the Kenyan shilling. So, when we're talking about provision, strictly monetary, finances, what you can provide for her, your family, and kids down the road and continuous and everything, it sticks right back to money, okay? So at times you'll have certain women who will just see dollar signs and others who will see the potential for you to out earn a lot of the other mates around, okay? Now, let me go back. Let me go back a little bit. So, my dating experience here in the US. I'll say this. I've dated quite a few different women from different backgrounds. I've dated African American chicks, white chicks, African chicks from different countries like Nigeria, West African countries, East African countries, Ethiopian chicks, all that, right? Also, I actually don't know. I don't think I've dated any Asian chicks, but I have a good track record of attracting beautiful women. I don't think I'm a bad looking guy. If anything, I honestly think that I'm one of the best looking guys on earth. Most guys should think that about themselves. Don't ever go into the dating market thinking you are below average because you will be treated like you are below average. Now let me stop boasting, okay? So, I have a history of dating beautiful women, very pretty women. And when you look at the current dating market, things have changed. Things have changed. I tell you, okay? Dating is not what it used to be. In my opinion, dating nowadays is very, very transactional, okay? What time is it? It's 2:30. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dating nowadays is very, very transactional. You see, I feel like back in the day, people actually cared to like learn about each other, actually build something, like build a true relationship. But nowadays, a lot of what you find out there is very monetary based. What can you give me? What can you do this? Trust me, I've heard it all. I've heard it from the what's it called? The educated stay at home chick to the chick that parties every single weekend. I've heard all of these crazy requests slash crazy expectations, right? Now, with my history in dating, I would say it's been pretty successful. Some you see some guys, what's it called? They they don't have a good history with dating. So by the time they reach their older ages, late 20s, 30s, and everything, where they've actually built a little bit of something, a little bit of success, right? They try to compensate for the years that they feel like they've missed out. I personally have reached a level of success at an earlier age than most people at that age, right? I was working as a software engineer when I was 21. At 21, all my age mates were still in college getting their degrees. I'm already making tech money, right? So when I reached this point, I what's it called? I I don't want to say I stayed silent, but I stayed low key at first, right? Because I knew that this would change a lot of things. It would change the type of women that are attracted to you. It would bring back women who've rejected you. It would also attract new women who would have never been attracted to you. Because I said earlier, we live in a very transactional society. So I remember at the time when I started making money in crypto and making software engineer money, I was like, yo, I felt like I was on top of the world, right? But what I did was I made sure I first had reached out or tried to what's it called connect with any of the chicks from my past that I felt what's it called I was attracted to. Okay, a lot of them would have rejected me. A lot of them did reject me. A lot of them try to keep me on the back burner, like, I see potential. I'm gonna leave you for when I'm 30. I laugh at things like that, right? And then some of them completely either like acknowledged me, but try to put me in a position where it's like you're gonna have to chalk something out. So I saw all these spectrums, and then I started posting about the type of money I was making in crypto, and I started posting more about my lifestyle. I was traveling, I was going to different states, visiting friends, and doing this, doing things that cost money. Okay, all of the sudden, all of the sudden, the ones who had rejected me from the past now were coming back and trying to swindle their way back into my life. And then the ones who try to put me on the back burner try to take me off the back burner and put me front row and try to now take me serious. On top of that, on top of that, I also had women who were probably late 20s, 30s at the end of their what's it called? At the end of their run, because a lot of people find their mates within their 20s. By the time you're reaching 30, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of men in their 30s aren't going to look at the women in their age group as a suitable mate. Men usually date down, women usually date up. So I had women who were in their late 20s and 30s looking down and actually trying to take me serious. I'm not joking. They'll be in your DMs. They'll be laughing at all your posts, this and the other. Now, am I saying that they wanted a serious relationship? Who knows? But they saw this young guy has money. This young guy has potential. And that's one thing a lot of guys don't understand. Women can see the the ones who don't have a future, and they can see the guys who have something going for them. Now, what usually happens is they'll date the bad guys in their young 20s, or yeah, their early 20s and all that. They'll have fun, they'll go travel, they'll date the fun guy, and then when they're ready to settle down, they'll come back looking for the one who took life serious. Okay, so I experienced that at an early age, at an early age. So by the time now I'm 26 and having had a good dating history, I have learned human nature, specifically female nature. I have learned it, and that's one thing I can say. Money allowed me to learn how it changes people. I wouldn't say money changed me. I'm pretty much the same Jimmy from a few years ago. Obviously, I've matured, I've learned a lot, but my success in life has not made me a totally different person. If anything, it's made me more humble and made me more aware of how people move. Now, I'll say this: money doesn't only change women, money changes guys as well. I'm telling you, when I started showing a little bit of success online and on my socials, friends that treated you like you were anything Now they want to hang out more. Now they want to, what's it called, check on you more. Hey, bro, how you been? We haven't talked in years, right? So I'm telling you, money doesn't only change women, it changes guys. So if there's one thing I can say that my success has given me is an eye opening into who people really are and how people treat you different based on what they think they can get from you or what they see you can possibly provide. Now, back to Kenya. When I dated in Kenya, right? Uh, a lot of I would say this, the barriers are less because a lot of these women see you as a ticket in a sense. A ticket in the sense of you have more of a potential to provide a better life for them than possibly the guys who they grew up with, the local Kenyans and all that. Now, this is not to sit here and say I'm better than the local Kenyans, but it's the reality of the world we live in. They're seeing the dollar, they're seeing what you can provide. So, as I return back to Kenya to go on this journey, I am very well aware of how female nature is. I'm very well aware of how having something changes how people treat you. People who used to talk down to you, all of a sudden now have some level of respect for you. People who didn't see you as anything, now they see you as competition and they want to. At times, it's not always good. At times, success does not always mean people will treat you good. At times, people envy. People, what's it called? People, people want to still see you as the Jimmy that they knew you as, and they don't want to accept where you are in life now. They knew you from back then, right? They knew you from back then when you were just on the same level as them. But now they see your success as as oh, now you think you're better than me, this and the other. And I'm telling you, people will change up on you either for the good or for the bad. Now, one thing I should say, I dated beautiful women even when I was broke. Even when I was broke. If anything, if I'm being 100% honest, I probably dated more when I was broke than now when I have something to lose, in a sense, right? The success opened my eyes to the fact that, okay, the same women you used to deal with, you can't be dealing with them now. You have something to lose. You've built a reputation. You have an acknowledgement in the local community. You have a status that certain women will tear down. Certain women will see your success and want to bring you down. Delilah spirits. When I tell you Delilah spirits are real, matter of fact, I was actually looking at this earlier. For you guys who don't know what a Delilah spirit is, okay, it comes from the Bible, obviously. Delilah. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys like I know the Bible off head, but from what I understand, Delilah was in the Bible and tried to manipulate a guy. I don't know if it was Samson. This is bad, but I'm just gonna read to you guys what Delilah spirit is. A Delilah spirit is a metaphor used primarily in Christian contexts for manipulative, deceptive, and treacherous influences that lead a person away from their spiritual commitments or purpose. Now, that's not what I was looking for. What is the meaning of what does it mean to call a woman a Delilah? The name Delilah, of Hebrew origin, primarily meaning delicate or she who's weakened. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Uh, what are the characteristics of a Delilah? Okay, this is better. Delilah's defining characteristics are her seductive manipulation, greed, betrayal, and cunning persistence to gain personal gain at the expense of others, particularly Samson. Okay, so I was right. It is Samson. I was right. I was right. It's Samson. Okay. Now, the Delilah spirits and the Delilah women in life, I've experienced it as well. I've experienced it in the sense of I'm a very, very confident person. I know who I am. I know where I stand and I know my value. That's one thing a lot of guys should learn, their value. Now, I'll give you an example. I I would have when I was an engineer, I had that in my bio in my Instagram, like most people do. Most people will have they're an artist, they're a lawyer, they're whatever, along with like a pin to show their state, just basic things that most people have in their Instagram bio, right? So in my bio, it said software engineer with the little laptop icon, right? Basically, like basic things that most people would have in their bio. Now, if you know women, you know that women are very detail oriented. Before a woman DMs you or talks to you, she's done her research. She knows everything about you most likely. She's gone digging to try to see who you've dated, all that stuff. So I would have some women who would try to come in, lower my ego in a sense, starting off with things like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" As if it's not in my bio, as if you're not a woman, as if women aren't detail oriented and that you haven't already seen that in my bio, right? So they would try to come, act like they don't see who you are in a sense, because in their head they think that, oh, you're egotistical, you think you're all that. Listen, I know who I am, but I'm also humble. I don't think I'm better than the next man because of my financial success in investing or in my job. But a lot of women will try to come and bring your ego down, bring your ego all the way down, or any sense of self that you would have. They would try to bring it all the way down to where they are. That way they can feel like they are a match to you. So I've experienced this where they'll ask, "What do you do for your work?" "Oh, okay." And then try to preface certain things in the talking stage to try to put you in a position where you'll be chasing them or you will be catering to them. Little things that they'll throw out like, "Oh, in my past relationships, none of the guys ever took me to nice restaurants. They always wanted to go on dates to, what's it called, to coffee shops or this and the other." In my head, I'm already laughing. Like I told you guys, I am a very keen individual when it comes to observing people and understanding human nature. So as these chicks are blabbing these things out, I'm already picking up on it, trying to put you in a position where you want to be the guy who takes her to a nice restaurant, who buys her things, who does all this. And I sometimes one thing I've learned in life is that playing the fool, playing the dummy will get you a lot further. So sometimes I just play along. I'm like, "Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, what that? Why would they do that? Can't even buy you a gift on your birthday? Oh my gosh, what a bad, what a douche, what a prick, man. That dude's trash, right?" Now they think that they've got you where they want it. They think that they've molded these barriers around you to make you act in line of how they want you to. Remember, we're talking about Delilah spirits, right? Delilahs, they're everywhere nowadays, especially in my generation with social media. I would argue that 60% of women are operating in this Delilah spirit because everything is so monetarily driven. But back to the topic. So they'll throw out all these things. "Oh, my ex never took me out. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh. A, B, C, D." And then I'm picking up on all of it and I can understand how they want you to act. And then they'll also tell you things like, "Oh my gosh, all my exes were trash. They never treated me nice. A, B, C, D." Trying to manipulate the guy into wanting to be this nice guy. You want to be the change. You want to be the one who's different from all her exes. And in reality, if you are a wise man, you'll understand that trying to be different from her past, you're already failing. You're already operating on this background that she's giving you. You're already operating on this whole back track record, and basically you're walking on eggshells to not be like her exes. You want to make sure that you take her out. You want to make sure that you don't, what's it called, call her out when she's wrong. You want to make sure that all this stuff, and that's all molding. That's hunting in a sense. That's her preparing the dinner. You know how you prepare a meal? You cut up all the things, you marinate. That's you as a man being marinated. When a woman brings up all these past things, trust me, Take it in with a grain of salt, but take it in very keenly. One thing I did whenever a chick would bring these type of things up, I would listen. And in my generation, with the modern dating scene, women feel like they can't be judged. Oh, you can't judge me from my past. What? Don't judge you? Who are you? Are you Jesus? That's not how this works. Everyone in life gets judged. You you go to the bank and you try to get a loan, they're gonna judge you based off your history with loans and your credit and all this. You treat somebody bad in a friend group, they'll judge you based off of that. You treat your parents bad, you will be judged. The idea of you can't judge me for my past, stupid, ridiculous to me, ridiculous. So I would pick up on all these things you're telling me. So it's like, huh? So you dated 10 trash guys in a row, and now I'm supposed to be the good guy who comes and saves. Yo, I'm telling you, like, but at the same time, I'm still playing the fool. I'm still playing the fool, like, okay, uh huh. But in reality, if you're a wise man, you have to pick up on all these things and understand that you are being marinated to to move in line, to to move in these guidelines that she's trying to set forth for you. So for me, I pick up. I just let women talk. I've learned at this point in my life, you're not gonna change people. Let people reveal to you who they are, and that's one thing I've learned with women. I'm gonna let you reveal to me who you are. If you've dated 15 trash guys, just trust me, that says a lot more about you than them. You have a pattern of dating the same guy over and over. I don't feel sorry for you. You should have learned from the first one, maybe the second, third one if I'm being nice. But six in a row of trash men, maybe you're the trash woman and you don't realize it and you don't want to accept it. So, in my, what's it called, journey of dating, having dated beautiful women from when I was broke to even when I was making a little bit of something and had something to lose, I've learned to read their nature. And when I go to Kenya, I already know that I'm a target. I already know that a lot of women will see me as an opportunity to come up, right? But here's the thing, I'm gonna still play the fool. I'm gonna still play the fool just to learn what the actual dating market in Kenya is like. Just to learn and see and what's it called and feel the market out. But like I said, I am locked in. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't think I will seriously date in Kenya until I have something going. Until I've bought land and broken ground or bought land and started a farm, whatever I end up doing. If I until I've started my business, women are the last thing that I'm thinking about. Honestly, if I'm being honest, in Kenya. Now, I'm still a man at the end of the day. I'm still human. So you see a beautiful lady walking by, it's hard to just sit there and be quiet. I have a good history. I'm a good looking guy. So at times I'm gonna find myself still hunting, and I'm gonna be like, no, Jimmy, let's focus. Let's get back on track. You don't need this. You don't. This is not your focus right now. Focus on the plan. Focus on the mission. But like I said, because I put in the work when I was younger, when I was broke, when I started making something, when I had made something, and now when I actually have something to lose, I am not operating in this mind space of women are my everything. A lot of guys who don't have anything, their woman becomes the best thing in their life. They don't have a job that can give them some type of status. They don't have any assets. They haven't done anything much in life. So what they do is they find a very, very beautiful woman and that becomes their everything. And I've seen it. I've seen friends go down the path of chasing a woman and destroying themselves. At this age, at 26, I speak like I'm a 40-year-old man, but I'm 26 with plenty of experience, right? At this age, chasing a woman, oh my gosh, please, please, I'd rather go count grass. I would rather go count grass one by one. Give me an acre and tell me count the grass. I'd rather do that. I'd rather chew glass because I'm like the way our current dating market is, it's like there's no mutual reciprocity. There's no there's no what's it called? There's no trying to make your partner feel how you want to feel. It's all me, 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 me. And I've experienced this. I've dated here in New York. I've dated, what's it called? In Kenya, I've dated in other states that I've lived in and everything. I dated in college. Trust me, I have my experience. So at this age, I have no purpose, no will to chase a woman. If you like me, you like me. If you don't like me, you don't like me, right? But like I said, that Delilah spirit trying to lower your ego, trying to make you feel like you're nothing, just so they could keep you. Because in reality, now if I'm gonna speak and be boastful or be cocky, I'm looking at this as a man. I'm like, whose life is really going to change if me and you start dating? Whose life really changes? Do you bring me like opportunities? Do you make my life better? At this stage of your life, where you're at, where I'm at, who is really benefiting the most? If we're gonna stick to this transactional monetary society that we're in, because I'm telling you, the audacity in today's dating market is crazy. You'll have a chick who still lives with their mother, never went to college. I dropped out of college, so I'm not looking at that as like oh a disqualifier. But at the same time, you didn't go to college, but you're still working at restaurants. You're still what's it called partying every single day on the weekend, and then you come and find a software engineer who who's been living on their own since they were 22, moved to New York City when I was 22. I would say that that's a pretty good accomplishment, and they expect you to chase them, and I'm just like can we actually be serious? Can we actually be serious? I've created something. If we start dating, you'll most likely move in with me. You'll most likely what's it called? Tag along, and you're probably eating at better restaurants. You're probably now going to better vacations. You're probably living a better life based on where you are right now. You still live with your parents at the same age. You're 26, 27, 28, which is okay. At the end of the day, the US market is hard for people to live on their own. So I'm not going to kick that. But at the same time, I live in a New York City where there's successful women left and right. When I moved here when I was 22, there was other 22-year-old women who were living on their own in the city. So at times I'm just like, yo, I was born in the wrong generation because the audacity for someone who's still living with their parents to try to make it seem like you should chase them is bananas. Is bonkers. It's ridiculous and it doesn't make sense to me. But as I go to Kenya, let me get back on topic. I'm aware of all the pitfalls that come with dating. I'm aware of guys who've ruined their lives chasing women. I've seen it. I have friends who've done it. And at times, having been going through those ups and downs, and you see your fellow brother or fellow bro going through something similar, and they don't want to listen to your advice, at times you have to let them go, fail, and learn. Because at times people don't want to listen. People are so deep in love that they don't want to listen that she's using you, bro. She's using you. But you got to let your bro fail sometimes and then go pick him up and be like, now do you want to listen? Now are you ready to move on? Right? Etc. But overall, I'm aware of the pitfalls that will come. I'm aware of all the traps. I'm aware of all of the potential uh, setups because it's not just about dating you and using you. It could literally be something as simple as false allegations. You hang out with the chick and now she wants to say, "Oh, he did XYZ to me. He tried to force." Trust me. Trust me. It happens in today's day and age in a lot more situations than you would think were actually true. I have friends who've been falsely accused. I have friends who were dating a crazy chick and they saw the red flags. They saw the red flags of this chick is trying to destroy my character. But they kept going down the road and eventually their character was destroyed. But I'm aware of everything. So as I go back home and I see all the beautiful Kenyan women all around me, I'm still on my goal. We're locked in. We are locked in. So they are not at the front of my mind right now. That is on the back burner. Dating and finding a partner comes after I've started something, after I've actually built something, after I have something that can sustain me in Kenya. But you know what? I'm not gonna ramble. I've probably talked for like 20 minutes, but like I said, you guys are gonna like this video. It's a true dive into the realities of dating as a man. Will my channel be about women? Heck no. I have a lot more things to discuss. I have a brain, I have substance that can give you guys way more than dating. Can my channel grow very fast if I was to focus on dating? Absolutely. People love that. People would eat that up. But am I gonna make women the prime thing of my channel? Absolutely not. So as I go home, I am keenly aware of life and how life works and how our modern day and age works. So I will stay on my path. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got some insight. I could give a lot of game to a lot of guys, but a lot of times guys don't want to listen to you. They think that they're better than you. So it's like, all right, you go fail, bro. You go continue. Now, I'm not saying I wish people fail. I honestly wish the best for people. When I see people get into a new relationship, I wish the best. And I'm like, I hope it works out. But at the same time, based on your history, you can see flags, you can see caution tape. And sometimes you just want to be like, but you can't actually speak on it. You just, Lord, I pray that she treats him well and he treats her well and they work out. And then sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But that's the end of the video. I love y'all. I will see y'all on the next one. And make sure if I gave you any substance, if you like this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and enjoy your night or day. Bye.